Are we on?
We're on now.
What are your guys' thoughts?
Just like that. What are you guys' thoughts on breakdowns?
Yeah, that's
We kind of go this and swap in between.
Yeah, swap in between.
So are we live?
We're live.
Yeah, we're fucking
Yeah.
cooking.
Alright.
Episode number 98.
Oh, getting close to that
Getting
big
there.
hungy.
Getting there.
We are very excited to be joined by the boys from Catalyst. Thanks for coming on. We got
Thanks for coming,
Joe,
boys.
Siv, and Mr. Stucky himself. Recently joined the band as the new vocalist. How's that been going so far for you, my friend?
Yeah, it's good. Playing with a bunch of younger guys. They've got a bit more passion and, you know, they want to get out and do it and kill it. Where with the other band, it was a bit like we were all just getting old and wanted to just drink and do stupid shit. Where these guys are taking it a bit more serious, so it's good.
I love how he's just gone straight in on his old band.
Yeah,
I wasn't even going to touch that. And he's just like fucking,
He's
you
everyone's
know
getting
what?
old
Yeah,
and
just
fucking-
sick of the fucking party animal ways.
yeah.
Well, look, we always start the pod when we have musical guests on. We like to get an understanding of what kind of got you through to this point. So whoever wants to kick us off, tell us where it all began. When did you get into music? When did you pick up your instrument? If you play an instrument, where did it all begin?
From the start, it was primary school.
Yep.
Picked up like guitar and that, and then teacher gave me a set of sticks. Started playing around the house, smacking up the couch and everything, and then eventually I was just like, I'll do some drum lessons and whatever.
Yep.
And that was sort of it. That was it.
That was it.
Then like my parents obviously got me into like 80s, 90s rock and metal.
Yep.
And all that sort of stuff. And then from there, I actually found Slipknot.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then it was game over from Slipknot. Then
It's funny.
Yeah.
When we ask this question, Slipknot is one of the bands that comes up a lot as like
100%.
this was my start, like my starting point of like metal or heavy was Slipknot for a lot of people, and then it goes into fucking whatever else. But yeah, they're like a gateway drug band
100%
for a
they
lot of
are,
people.
yeah. I was actually reading something today about Wait and Bleed.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, fuck, that song. I haven't heard it in such a long time. Went back, had to listen to it, and I was just like,
such a bang.
Oh, yeah.
bend
Banger
down
of
and
a
clear the
track,
stone
man.
of leaves, bro. It's so good, man. Like,
yeah, I saw a poster of Joey in a music shop, and I was like, who the fuck's that? Then I saw another one of Mick Thompson, the guitarist.
Yep.
And then I was like, who the fuck are these guys with the masks?
Yeah.
And then I found Slipknot, and I was like, yeah, this is
It's
sick.
Sleep Token.
oh, yeah, and Sleep Token, yeah.
It's weird because like I was on them late because every gug at my school was wearing Slipknot, and I was like, and I'd started listening to like some heavier stuff at that point. But like I literally avoided it because I was like, if these fucking losers are listening to it, it must
You were
be
just so
crap.
counterculture. You didn't
Yeah, I
want
know.
to
And I just hated every one of the dudes that was wearing it. And then, I just like, I don't know, someone must have been playing it one time, and I was like, oh, this is sick. What's this? And he's like, Slipknot. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm a fan now.
Go on, hit me with your favourite.
Or Psychosocial. I reckon.
Yeah, what about you?
Unpopular opinion. Don't like Slipknot.
Oh, I love that.
Cancelled.
Yeah, sorry.
Lucky Last, not a fan as well, or you got a favourite song? Yeah, what's your favourite? He needs the microphone, man. Come on.
Vermilion Part 1.
Yeah, tune.
Yeah.
Was it Void of Vision that did a cover of Psychosocial as well? I reckon it was. That's a
with
fucking sick
Make Them
cover, bro.
Suffer and the dudes from Northland as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was all of them. Oh, so good.
Dude, their new song, I've been loving it. Angel of Darkness.
Oh, the new
It's so
Void of
different
Vision.
for Void Division.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of clean singing for Void
Well, we said that when we did
What
the React video for that Hell.
Yeah.
And we were like, they're going in a bit of a different direction, but
different way.
he's wild, that man.
Yeah.
Old Bergen.
It's fucking wicked. I really enjoy it. It'd be interesting to see kind of how much further they progress down that, like, you know what I always thought, you know how Northland were trying to do that kind of techno-y kind of like doof, kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I think
Drum and bass
Void
sound
Division are doing that drum and bass sound better.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
they
said
really
that when we
are.
listened to that.
Yeah.
You don't want to upset Joe, all right?
You love the new Northland?
Yeah. Alien and what's the
Oh,
CD?
Alien.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just.
Are you
my
an OG
favourite.
as well, though? Like, are you OG
Yeah, well, I was
Adrian?
gonna say like my music stuff is like punk, grunge,
Yeah.
up until 2014 when I heard Quantum Flux, and then my life literally changed forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
killer song. Killer song.
But yeah, it's that song that
Yeah.
changed it for me for sure.
So we're going to come back to you in a second. Any high school bands with shit names, anything that, like expose yourself right now for all the tragic shit you did in high school?
Look, to be honest, like in high school, there wasn't many bands because no one played instruments or like in my school at least, no one played instruments, no one listened to heavy music.
Yeah.
So it was very like not much until sort of later on, and then like my first actual heavy band was Catalyst.
Yeah,
Oh,
wow. There you
okay.
go.
So I played in like pub bands and like cover bands and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then,
doing
like-
the Eagle Rock, and then all of a sudden you're doing fucking Zero
Yeah,
Zero.
doing all that sort of shit and whatever. And then my first actual like original heavy band was Catalyst.
No
Fuck
shit.
yeah.
There you go.
And so you've mentioned North Lane. What other influences have you got that's like kind of defined your, music taste over?
My OG influences obviously like Slipknot, Lamb of God, like bands like that.
Yep.
And then like these days, like in North Lanes, Alpha Wolf,
Yeah.
Made of Suffer, like just bands like that.
Yeah,
You know,
fuck yeah.
Polaris, big one as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just all the big, the big
all
names.
the Aussie bands.
Yeah, the big
Yeah.
core bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We talk about it all the time as well. Like Adelaide's exports in this fucking scene. Not Adelaide. Australia's exports
yeah. Well,
in
Adelaide
the
too,
world
yeah.
of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is just wild when you think about like per capita and the amount of bands that we have that
Yeah.
continually tour on a world stage is it's unbelievable.
yeah, man, for sure.
Something in the water down here for sure. All right, on to you, my friend. You've given us a little taste of the North Lane, but you're the guitarist. When did you first pick up the guitar? Tell us your musical journey.
So I started guitar lessons when I was 11,
Yep.
and I remember my mum picking me up to go to guitar lessons, and I didn't actually have a guitar. And I was like, what are we going to do about that? And she's like, I got this friend who's got a guitar. So we got that. It just happened to be left-handed. So I
So
went,
you're lefty, are you?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I went into the guitar lesson with my holding it the right-handed, and my teacher was like, "Oh, you got a left-handed guitar. Like you got to switch it around the other way." Which biggest regret of my life, because it's costing me thousands of dollars just to get a decent guitar.
Yeah.
But
Well, you didn't want to just do the Amur and just play it back to front, like do the low on the bottom.
well, I did originally. I had a right-handed electric that I played for years before I bought a left-handed guitar.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, like mostly I was learning Green Day, Nirvana, Silverchair, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was that throughout most of primary school, high school, and then, as I said, North Lane. And it just, changed.
So was that like your first so there was no kind of build up from there either? Like, there was no other bands before North Lane?
There was no...
Because like Quantum Flux is a pretty big leap in terms of like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a fucking... that's a heavy song. Like fucking When I Come Around to Quantum Flux is that's a pretty big leap.
Yeah, there was no, emo,
Yeah.
that sort of leap that most people take.
Yeah, man's wearing his MyChem fucking jumper over here at the moment. So yeah, there's none of that.
Yeah, no. And then from there, it was straight into proggy stuff, really. Like, I'm into the techie side of things, like
Okay.
Tesseract,
Yeah.
Periphery,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
That thing I sent, that song I sent you today, which we should do Song of the Week, so maybe we'll circle back.
Maybe we should,
but the
yeah.
full song of that is actually on Spotify. And
Yeah, I listened to it.
Oh, you did the same thing.
I went and
So
found it,
good.
bro. Yeah, he's. I've seen a few of his TikToks.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Was
tell
it
you, as a
Clayton,
guitarist, Clayton King, was it?
Clayton King.
Yeah, this guy, like, I just found him from some other, like, how everyone just does the fucking head bobby reactions without even saying anything on fucking
Yeah.
the most annoying shit. But, this song today, this guitarist is fucking wild. His name's Clayton King, so check him out. Very proggy fucking sounds.
In a band or?
No, he just,
No,
it's
it's
just a
him.
song. It's just
Oh, just
him.
play- oh,
Yeah,
sick.
instrumental.
I know, yeah.
Perfect. On to you, my man. When did you pick up? Do you play an instrument?
I can, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bass.
No, I can play guitar. I started,
Oh. Yeah.
So I was the same as Joe. I started guitar. Mine was like Metallica, Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit older than these guys, so I don't know if that has much to do with it. But with the bands our bridge bands are probably quite similar, like you said,
Yeah.
like MyChem, and then it went from the emo, the used, and stuff like that, and then it
Yeah.
slowly went like Bullet for My Valentine. And I remember sitting. I could play guitar and I still can, but I remember just sitting on my computer one day and a Billy Talent song came on. And I think it was like Hook, Line and Sinner from the Grind soundtrack.
yeah.
And it was like that, what you say, yes, what you. And I was like, that's cool. Like, they do that. Like, that's cool. And then I was like, I'll try to do it. And I was just like singing. I was like, oh, this is cool. And I was like, and then I remember someone showed me Parkway Drive. This was like 2008. So like Horizons had just come out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love the music. I just hate the screaming.
Oh, really? You didn't like it?
And then, like, flash forward now,
You never sung a clean
Never
vocal
sung
in your life.
Like you said before the podcast, I've never sung clean at all. So
Isn't that? It's funny that you had that because I had the same experience with Parkway as well. Like when I first listened to it, I was like, bro, like it's just because I was like, again, Escape the Fate, where it was like mostly post-hardcore. Day to Remember a bit as well. So that was the first band for me where they don't have cleans.
Oh,
and
so
like,
you were
when
just like a little bit of screaming, mainly cleans, and then you went to Parkway.
Yeah. So then
same with me, like emo.
Yeah,
I was
like
emo.
Slipknot to Parkway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I went round. I went emo, Parkway back to Slipknot. Like, I got into Slipknot later. Like you think you'd go like Slipknot's like you said, it's a bridging band, but I think the bridging band for me was emo.
Yeah,
And then-
Bridjo, that was emo because I was like Fall Out Boy and shit.
Yeah,
that
same.
was my
Fall Out Boy was my first concert.
Oh,
Bro,
really?
me too.
Yeah, I heard
Shit. Fall Out Boy, All American Rejects.
Yeah, same. I was there.
It's the same fucking
Yeah,
show.
dude.
Yeah.
That's wild.
See, for me, my bridging was like metal, so there was no screaming. I mean, no singing. Sorry, it was all screaming, just high, like on crack,
Yeah.
fucking like fast, you know. So when I went and heard Parkway, I was like, oh, it's just screaming, but like it was slower. You know how
Yeah.
metal's fast and you get slower, and that's what jarred me. I was like, oh, it's so slow. Like, it's so
And the
fucking
riffs
slow,
are just
like- But I was like, yeah, the riffs are
so
fucking.
good.
Now it's not even slow.
Yeah,
like,
now
that's
it's fucking
considered,
fu-
you
now
know,
it's fast. yeah. Cold Day in Hell was my first one.
Yeah, bro. That was the song that got so. Someone sent me Picture Perfect Pathetic, which I enjoyed, but I was like, but then when I was like, all right, I need to listen to this fucking album, Killing with a Smile in Full, because all my mates were like fucking frothing over it. I was like, there's obviously something here I'm missing. And I was starting to like get into it a bit more, and then I like listened to it back to front. And Cold Day in Hell was the one, that fucking riff in the beginning just stuck out to me so much. And then from there, I was just absolutely fucking hooked. It's just wild. That same sentiment of like, bro, like, how about just sing a line maybe? And now it's like,
I was like, don't
for
sing
so
a line.
long I've
Don't
been
sing
the
a
opposite.
line.
I'm like, now when they're
Yeah.
like, oh, could you just scream a bit more? Like,
So it started with guitar for you. When
Yeah.
did it go to vocals then?
It went to vocals probably, I think I was maybe 14 or 15. And I remember, and then same kind of had experience. I had people that were into Metallica that played guitar in school and they were just like, fuck this screaming. And then what happened is one day we were all just at a sleepover and something and we watched, I put the Parkway DVD on. I was like, you got to watch this. Like it might change your mind. 100% change their minds. They're like, they thought like screaming just meant like cutting your wrists, emo. Like they were never into that side. And then those dudes were like the start of Deceptions, my first band.
Yeah.
And that's where it started for me. And then
Yeah.
straight into a band that was playing Adelaide shows and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
did everything I could to get on that stage.
So we were saying off camera how many bands you'd been in.
Yeah.
Was Deceptions the first band?
Deceptions was the first serious band. I think
Yeah.
overall I've been in like maybe 6.
yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, it's been a few because I've definitely heard your name in fucking talks with bands, a lot more than 3 over the years.
I think my first band was called Grade A Loser and it was like a pop punk band.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
That's
and
actually cool. That's actually
Yeah,
cool.
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Damn it. We meant to expose yourself with shit names, but
Yeah,
that's actually
yeah.
a good one.
We're gonna start an emo band called Say Sorry Second.
Yeah, we're talking about that. Because what was it? Fight first,
Fight
say
first,
sorry,
say
sorry
sorry
second.
second.
And then we're like, what a fucking funny name
killer
that would be.
emo,
It
yeah.
reminds me of Seconds Before Sunrise. Oh,
Yeah.
fucking Johnny Hawkins. Shout out to the
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
We actually skipped you. Any high school bands? Any shit names?
First band I was in was called Bold Jimmy.
That's like
As in
Shout
like
out
bold,
Bold
as
Jimmy.
in like he's bold or bold?
It was,
as in
it was
bold?
after our music teacher, so
B-A-L-D.
He was Jimmy and he had a receding hairline.
Yeah.
So all our logos were him just with a bold face.
That's fantastic.
And,
That's
yeah.
fucking great.
love it.
Any
I
more?
love it.
No, I played in a couple of projects here and there, but I grew up in Broken Hill.
Oh,
So
wow.
I moved
Okay.
down here when I was 19.
shit. So you've only relatively fresh here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
New South Wales, he's one of the dirty
New South
ones.
Welshman. Yeah.
Welshman. Yeah. Well, Broken Hill, that's a bit of a special case though.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I think that's why we never pay you out about it. Because you kind of like you're still a footy fan, and like most New South Wales people, like all rugby. And,
It's like 6 hours away compared to Sydney.
Hey,
which is
Broken
like
Hill, the
14.
great man Tex Walker from fucking Broken Hill. So
Yeah, I've heard enough about that guy.
fucking
You
racist.
follow the footy, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, who do you go for?
I don't. Oh, the Pies.
You're gonna sit here and go on about how you've heard too much about Tex, and then fucking say you go for the Pies. This podcast is over.
Very dark.
Did you play footy and shit when you were young as well up there? Or?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
they just love footy
soccer,
in
yeah.
Broken Hill.
Because that's just what you do in Broken Hill. It's like
in any of those country towns, it's like you either play a club sport or you do drugs.
I was waiting. I want you stole it right words out of my mouth. I was going to say you either play sport or do math.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think we've said that before.
And in some cases, you do the Benny Cousins special and you fucking do both. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, back to you. So no high school bands. First bands was Deception. And then 2319 and now Catalyst.
Yeah.
Also, 2319 was your second band.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Deceptions went for a while. We toured and we like, toured with M-World and stuff like that. Like we did big stuff. It wasn't just like us. It was started off as just, oh, yeah, we're just going to play music together, do Parkway covers. And that's how it literally started.
Yeah.
The guys that hated Parkway, all we did was play Parkway covers.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, Boneyards became my all-time favorite song because singing it is so much fun. And we did like backyard shows. Like this is like, we were the kids that would spend our $40 because back then, you know what it was like, not now, but back then every single show was all ages.
Yeah.
Same, like we would spend our $40 paychecks every week to go to any show. And then we did like backyard shows before, like for Deceptions before they were like came out. So when we started, like, I don't know, we were just already ready to do the stuff because we had done all this practice stuff at home and just always thought that we were going to do something.
Yeah. We talked about this so many times on the pod, but I mean, so how old are you guys?
I'm 23.
23?
22.
22, yeah, right. So you guys were too fucking young even for Black Market, right? So we talk.
Just missed that. Bro.
So we talk about this on the podcast all the time, and you would know, like, we don't have this opportunity for bands to play on a fucking monthly basis even, and that was the thing. Like
That was weekly.
We talk, but I mean, like, you wouldn't play every week, right? So I'm saying you could basically, the Adelaide bands could rotate as a support for generally international or national touring bands that would come through Black Market on a monthly, bi-monthly basis. That doesn't exist anymore. You've got to wait for a tour. Which we're going to get into in a minute, how fucking exciting for you guys. But you've got to be lucky enough to land a support for a band that's coming here. Otherwise, you really don't play shows in Adelaide anymore. And that's one of the saddest things for us is that, like, that was amazing that you used to be able to just constantly have. And then we saw the Dream on Dreamer the other night. Like, Dream on Dreamer played Black Market like fucking 10 times.
The thing is about Black Market that was so cool is that there was so many people that were to see the bands, and there were so many people that, like me, you and me would go. I don't know about you. I don't remember you as much, but we would go every week nearly and just get drunk.
Yeah.
And if there was a band playing, that's sick. I'd watch the band. If there was no band, if there was a band I didn't like playing, then I'd go and listen to them. Oh, I don't like them. Go drink. But the thing is, people were there to drink and party, and then some people were there to watch music. I knew heaps of sober people that went there just to watch music. But I also know the owners, and I've partied with them, and they just near the end, people weren't going. So
Well, we had Zach Watson on the podcast, who was the manager at the time. Do you know Zach? Do you remember Zach? Yeah. And he was telling us like in depth about how fucked over they got by the what do they even call them? Like the fucking safety inspectors.
Oh yeah.
So they came in and cut the capacity of people upstairs by like 30%, which meant that people were lining up downstairs, which meant people were getting fucked off because they were having to like wait and missing bands and shit like that. And it was just downhill from there. They kept bringing in new regulations and just fucking them over. So
And
like
like-
Mike and that were just like, this isn't fun anymore, bro. Just battling this
And they
shit.
started to cuck the balcony, and that was where I lived.
That
Just
balcony.
on that, I obviously love the music, but like, mate.
But the good thing about the
Nothing
balcony is I used to say when Deception started, say, get the fuck off the balcony and come inside. And people would come inside.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Like,
Or even just once the bands were done, the amount of times I'd be out on the balcony fucking off my fucking guts with a durry in my mouth, and then I'd hear Carry On start, and I'm like talking to someone in the middle, I'm just like, dart off the balcony inside so I can get the first note of fucking Carry On.
Yeah.
Some cunts outside like, cool, I wasn't talking to you or anything. I'm like, nah, gotta go, dude. I'm not missing the group sing.
I think it was when they moved it from Colonel Light, for me personally.
same. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And now you've got, you do have Taking Back Sunday, which is cool. And I've said so many times, and I don't care if they hear this, that they have a platform right now, Taking Back Sunday, to be able to put on bands, and they are choosing not to.
yeah.
Like, I mean, yes, there might be regulations and stuff that I don't know about, but I remember going to either the warehouse party or the Halloween, I think it was the Halloween party at Lion Arts, and there was 2 stages, one outside and one inside, and I was like, this is basically like I'm at a music festival with no bands playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, you could have put 1 or 2 bands on throughout the night, like Black Market did, and these bands would have got massive exposure. Instead, you just
Also, start the night early, right? And the heads for the bands will come out.
Yeah.
And so start it at fucking 6. and have 3 bands on till 9:30, even then, and then have your fucking
Then
night.
have the DJs,
They don't
yeah.
start the night
Yeah.
till late anyway. You're missing out this whole opportunity to get exposure, to get more people to come because they're like, oh, fuck yeah, bands and tunes.
And that's what would happen. People would come out. I would come out early to watch the bands I liked, and then I'd party at Black
Stay
Market
and
till
get
2
fucked
a.m.
up.
Yeah,
Exactly,
you know, like,
dude. Yeah. That was always like, I loved that about, like, for me, I would finish work, go to the fucking Austral and like drink for 3 hours and then just walk straight to fucking Black Market on a Friday night all the time. Because I'm already in the city as well.
Yeah.
We're just missing that now. This like, I mean, I'm too fucking old anyway to go
I'll
out
still
all the
go.
time.
If there's
But
Black
if there
Market,
was
I'll still
something where
fucking
like,
go.
but again, just that whole thing of like a Friday night, there's a band on a fucking lineup that's like half decent.
Yeah.
We go on a fucking Tuesday night to see you boys and fucking Loon and Heartline. So
Yeah.
it's like, if we could go somewhere where we know, and we love supporting fucking local bands as well. Like, I just hope that we come full circle. We know out of the pandemic how keen people are to go and see shows. But the problem is as well, because we're in Adelaide, you guys are fucking getting a Tuesday night for the international touring bands or whatever, or national touring bands. So it's like, that's where the Friday or whatever, you're going to get more people on a fucking Friday or Saturday night where people are like, yeah, I don't have work at 3:30 in the fucking morning.
I can't go to weekday shows at all anymore. High school hours.
That's the problem. We don't have anything here that's actually like, you know, for you guys as well, like the thing that we're missing is like you need experience playing fucking shows more as well. And if the only thing you're waiting for is a band that comes into town, or you got to pack all your fucking shit in a van and go over and you manage to get on a East Coast tour or whatever, that's a lot for cunts that are working for, you know, whatever. Like that's a lot of risk to take for you guys just to try and get some shows when you can't get the experience and whatever in Adelaide playing a few before you take that leap and go.
It used to be
and
the
play.
opposite. It used to be you'd play so many Adelaide shows, and you might be lucky if you get one Melbourne show. Now we're more lucky to get
An Adelaide show.
I get a cool Adelaide show, unless we book it ourselves.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Yeah,
Which is crazy to think, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like, I hope that, again, it comes, we talk about it so much on the fucking podcast, but I just hope that it comes full circle and that we get someone with a
I think
venue.
someone's
that's-
tried so many times to
Yeah.
revamp the Black Market thing, or not even just the Black Market thing, the Bang, because Bang, it was all owned by DAL. So Bang, they were all owned by DAL. That's why they got the cool bands coming in them. And I think so many times AMPM, all these people have tried to do it. Nothing's ever come as big as like I think it was like Black Market, Bang, something else in one of the other ones as
Light
well.
Side or whatever it's called over there.
Yeah. So, but nothing's ever come close to the way that we had it, and I don't know why that is.
It's weird. It was a lightning in a bottle
Yeah.
type thing, wasn't it? Like because even again when they've tried to revive it, it just never had the same thing. I don't know why it was so successful in that window of time. Like whether or not
I think
maybe
people
it's
don't want to
our
go
generation.
outside as much as well now. That probably doesn't help.
Yeah, of course.
100%, man.
It was. I think. I mean, we've talked about it enough. We'll move on. But like, it was crazy for me, even with Black Market, because I was like very much all my mates. I was the metalhead. All my mates were fucking. Let's go to HQ. Let's go to HQ. And like, I got so sick of going and doing that shit as well. And I loved Black Market that I was going out all the time. Like, where are you going on this fucking Friday night? I'm like, look, you don't like the music, but I'm telling you, the vibe in this place is like nothing you've ever fucking been in. And they got sick of me fucking going on about it so much that I got all of them to come and they were just like, this is fucking amazing. Like it was just something different about, it wasn't like when you walk through HQ or Reds or whatever and you just got a bunch of fucking absolute roided dickheads just always ready to go. Whereas that Black Market, like it was just so fucking chill.
Yeah.
The most intense thing that was happening was the dance floor was so fucking slippery.
buckling.
Yeah, all buckling. And just watching girls get fucking horizontal slipping on that thing before they hit the ground. That's the most
Just doing a
danger.
WWE slam.
Or someone setting off a fire extinguisher and fucking
Yeah.
almost getting it shut down. But I hope it comes full circle, man, and we get something like more consistent. They even, I think I saw you at, were you in 2319 when they played Flight?
We didn't do Flight, but we did the Riot reunion. I booked it because Mike asked me to book it, and I booked 2319 Anticline, and I think it was Outsider. And that was that sold out.
Yeah,
It was one of the most money we ever made.
Yeah,
being
that was a
20
sick night.
But again, they told me why they don't want to do it again. It's just because it's just too much risk.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
But those shows so 2319, it must have been before you, because I definitely went to see them at Northern Sound System. So maybe it was
I reckon that was with Catalyst.
Yeah, I reckon we played
Yeah,
that.
we did.
Yeah, I reckon that's something you
That
talking
wasn't
about.
Flight though. That was.
I wasn't Fly, it was just called, I can't
Oh, that
remember.
was
what
like
it was.
23, you guys.
We
Valhalla,
opened.
was that was the
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, that was Northern Sound System, but that was called something else.
Yeah, it wasn't called
It
Flight.
wasn't
you're right.
Flight, but it was sick.
Yeah,
That was
we
so
played
good,
Flight.
bro.
Catalyst did a flight.
I wasn't.
Oh, you might not have been.
Yeah,
This was
because
ages
that
ago.
NSS show with 23 was my first Catalyst
Yeah,
show.
Yeah, actually, I remember you guys being on it now as well. Felt hell of a fucking sick. Our mate was
Yeah.
actually in one of their film clips.
Yeah, shout out to the rookie.
Old rookie Rookerson.
So let's bring it to the present now, to Catalyst.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We've talked about the past. Let's bring it to the present. Boys, tell us a little bit about this exciting news that you've only got, within the last, maybe week or two?
We couldn't have talked about it last week. We moved the pod back by 1 week because of the Tillies.
Yep.
Fuck them.
They
They
let us down.
disappointed a nation.
Unlucky.
Fuck the Poms as well, though,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
importantly.
Fuck
And
the
they
Poms.
lost.
They lost, but yeah.
Up the fucking Spaniards.
Go, you Spaniards.
Hey, we were the most listened to podcast in Spain for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we
there,
were,
So get around them.
It's hell random.
Get around. I don't think they could understand it. They're like,
That was like we were our Spotify numbers fucking boomed in Finland, in Helsinki.
Helsinki.
We just had like 500 listeners from Helsinki
so
in like a
rude.
few days. It was-
Finland, eh?
yeah.
That'd be fucking sick, bro.
It was so weird for us as well because we just like logged on one day and we're like, what the fuck are all these numbers? And it's like Spain
Spanish.
is like,
Yeah, like,
and we're like, what are they?
600 Spain,
Surely.
22 Adelaide. We were like,
Yeah, what the fuck is going on? Yes. So tell us about the news now that it's formally announced. What's happening for you boys in 2 months' time?
2 months time.
Well, go for it, Joe. This is
supporting volumes, line arts.
Oh, it's huge.
And I don't know if you guys are listening to this podcast and aware of the name of the fucking podcast,
Yeah.
but that is exciting fucking news. How did it come about? Like, did you just fucking harass them? You were just like, look, I will literally tongue your guys'
this
nuts.
is over you, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it actually, they announced the tour last year, and I
Yes.
think
Yes.
we were up. We were trying to get the support slot then as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, but you would have done most of the
Yeah,
harassing.
look, we basically just did what you said, tongue up the arsehole. For
Yeah.
Not so much volumes, but we have good friends booking shows around Australia, and I know some people, and I just knew someone that was. We knew that we do what you're supposed to do now, and you hit up the promoter and you email them, and we put a submit form in, and then we said we'll do what we have to do for the show. We'll promo it hard, and and also like the same goes for them. Like they see that we've just released a single.
Yeah.
They see that we're pushing hard. We went and just did that Melbourne show with Inhibitor.
Yes.
That helped them out. We didn't get paid like much at all for that show.
Yeah.
But we definitely made a loss.
Yeah,
So
okay, yeah.
showing that kind of commitment, I guess, and commitment to play really helped.
Yeah.
And then they hit us up and they're like, we'd like to offer you this chance. And at first we thought we were just opening. We didn't think we were going to be the second band on. And when we found that out, we're like, well, that's sick.
That's
Like,
fucking
it's even better because it means
Yeah.
that,
Bit of a warmer
and we
crowd,
actually
yeah.
want to play with Vapors as well because like Joe did like stuff for their album. So like,
Oh, that's so
okay.
yeah.
cool.
Sick.
because Joe's, by the way, plugging Joe here, but he's he's an engineer.
Oh,
Music
yeah.
engineer. So if anyone wants their stuff
I
mixed,
dabble. I dabble.
So you do the production for Catalyst, then I'm guessing?
Yeah. I did most of the writing and
So even the
Put all-
drums as well? Or just you do that?
well, I'll write. Okay, the thing with drums in Catalyst is I'll write the most ridiculous fucking MIDI software drums.
I know the vibes, bro. I know the
Like
vibes.
playing 4 notes at once.
Yeah.
Old fucking Henry the Octopus fucking.
It's like a China, a hi-hat, and a splash.
Yeah, and
like
then send the track off. Hear nothing from this bloke. Gets a prac, and he just nails it like first go.
it's so weird. You send these drums and I'm like, how's he gonna play this in the MIDI? And then I see him at Prac and I'm like, and he's like, oh, I just learned this the other day. Like, so you're too
And it
skilled,
sounds more
bro.
authentic, no doubt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that's
Well,
awesome.
he's actually Joe's actually good at writing drum parts. Now sometimes he'll send through some drums and I'll be like, fuck, this is actually sick. Like,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I've never
but-
thought of this fucking like pattern before, and now you're like,
yeah, it's good to have that different different take on it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because obviously when you got that kind of technical prowess, you go, here's what's possible. Whereas you're a guitarist, you're like me. I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. This is what it sounds like.
He's like, who cares what's possible? Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. Yeah. And then you kind of meet in the middle where you make it sound authentic, and then he kind of gives it that alternate take that you wouldn't normally get.
Yeah.
What do you mean you can't have 700 kicks a second?
Yeah,
Like, let's
come on.
fucking do it. Yeah, so that I mean, you guys must be so fucking hyped for that. So for us as well, like when they announced that they weren't coming in that last fucking tour, like literally, I remember like messaging you straight away, just like, because for me, they are so like I got into them just after they were here last time in 2014, so I like just missed that show. Did you go?
Yeah.
Right, I was shattered.
And that was huge. That was like what? That was like North Lane Volumes, Light Monster Flames.
Oh, wow.
Massive.
It's something like that.
Yeah, it was.
It was
yeah.
like a Make Them Suffer the opening.
Yeah.
Like it was a
no
huge tour.
Where was this show? Where was it?
That's HQ, old HQ.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so it was like 2014, I reckon they were here last, and I just got into it at the end of 2014. I remember I was literally just going through like the classic YouTube fucking what's in this side thing, and I listened to that. So I heard a Raise for the first time.
Yeah.
That was the first song I listened to, and I was like, this is wild. And then I went and listened to like most of that album,
Yeah.
and then I saw Via.
Then went back to Edge of the
Then went back to Via,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Oh,
holy.
not like Monster Flames, but yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
North Lane Died as Murder, Volumes Make Them Suffer, and Valid Man.
Fuck, bro.
Oh, and Valid Man too.
Damn, that's wild.
That's
yeah.
a massive show.
So I'm.
You don't get tours like that anymore.
Nah.
No, well, even like you were talking about Polaris before, that fucking Polaris one coming up with Polaris fucking
massive.
Always Burns
AVR,
Red and Currents.
Currents. That's a
Cooper.
lot.
Fucking
Yeah, and Cooper. Yeah, fuck, yeah, I forgot.
shit.
Yeah, bro, that's
Well,
gonna
I
be
don't know.
such a.
Currents are pretty fucking heavy.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Cooper's different.
Cooper's,
They're like,
yeah, it's more slam, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like fucking slam you down kind
Yeah,
of.
they're going to tear that up, Kubler.
Where's that? Is that?
That's at the
that's maybe even
new
more
old.
fucking
out.
hype
Oh,
now.
Yeah.
Highland Street.
That's
yeah.
made me even more fucking hype now. I completely forgot that.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah, that's so sick.
That's gonna be fucking. They're gonna be
Yeah.
wild when they play that breakdown in Hammer. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Fucking donkey kick my missus straight across.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Erica.
Someone's getting
Yeah. Hey, she's not pregnant at the shows anymore.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
the amount of we went to the
It's in Hearts
in
Way.
Hearts Weight. She was like 9 months pregnant to the day almost. Like literally saying,
Was it 3 days later she had it?
stay the fuck in there. I'm not missing this show. Like her favorite album of all time, Divination. And she's like,
Of the 10
please
years?
don't come.
Yeah,
She's
10
like,
years,
I want to see this live. So made her go to the back while I fucking got in the mosh. But she still got to be there and
On
experience. So
that
that's the main
sticky,
thing.
very hard floor in the Unibar.
Oh yeah, that floor's rough.
Yeah, that shit.
We just went there for that little mini festival they had, and we were like, "Fuck, please don't be." But it wasn't that busy, so it wasn't as bad. But that
Yeah.
night with Divination, literally fucking
Yeah,
doing
no.
Spaceman through the fucking pit.
Yeah. Like one foot would be slipping, the other one would be stuck because it's just like
Yeah,
a weird,
it's just the combination between the two.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's enough about
Anyway.
venues. So you've got the fucking volume slot. Have you got any other shows coming up that you can talk about?
That's literally what we've got booked at the minute,
Yeah.
isn't it? Just
Yeah,
yeah,
booked
volumes.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to write, I guess, like.
Give him the microphone.
Yeah.
mate.
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, we're trying to write at the moment, as Joe was saying. Like, we've got we've got something coming. You know? Yeah. Like, we don't know EP album or some kind of release, but
Yeah.
we've got some kind of something in the works, and we want to just write.
Yeah.
And then, like, we'll play shows as they come up. Definitely, we want to play as many as we can during this period, but we're not going to go out of our way to book them ourselves or.
Yeah, because you just want to
Yeah.
focus on the fucking writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that headline show we did, like, it just takes
Took
so much
out of us. But-
effort, and you don't even think about writing, which
Like, we
like,
thought-
I want to put a lot of time into.
And we thought that
Right
show,
now.
like, I've booked shows before, but like when you're doing it all yourself, like artwork, event, pushing it yourself, ticketing yourself, that was a good couple months that we were all just busting our balls doing that. And the problem is it just takes you, we were so drained by the end of it. It's like almost we didn't want to write. So it's like we don't want to feel like that.
Yeah.
Bro.
Sometimes I say to these guys, I wish we were just like fucking architects and we could just like get paid to fucking sit in a studio for
Yeah.
3 months and write a
I know.
fucking
Have a
record.
label fucking supply
Yeah.
it. Yeah, for sure. But I also find the magic in independence is quite special too, where you don't have someone dictating what you need to sound like, where you need to go. So, I mean, I guess it's that fine balance. You know, you obviously can't live the life, but then you've also got that freedom because you never know what these labels are telling these people to do.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
Yeah.
tough one, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I guess, you want to obviously get in and do the writing, release an EP sometime down the track. You got this volumes. What's the goal, I guess, a couple of years from now? What, you guys have been around for a while now, you particularly. What's the big thing that's like a bucket list item for you guys as a band that you really want to tick off?
Stadium tour.
I was going to say, our chat is called the Stadium Tour, so, but...
Who's on that lineup?
Yeah,
Who's on that lineup?
North Lane. If you're like influences, it'd be like North Lane Parkway.
They're supporting you.
You might need like Talica in there to fill up the stadium.
Yeah.
I think just the the next few years, I think we just really want to establish ourselves in that touring circuit.
Yeah.
Nationally and then internationally as well. Just keep pushing for that, keep putting out music, and that's the goal, I think.
And we'd be remiss not to mention the fucking
Unify.
Oh, bro, I hope that comes back.
Play an outdoor festival.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And the thing about Unify as well that was so special, they nailed that outdoor sound for nearly every one of them as well, which is hard to do. Like, I've been to some outdoor festivals where I'm just like, bro, I'm 2 centimeters away from the fucking speaker and I can't hear shit.
Yeah.
Whereas they, again, being out in the middle of cunt fuck nowhere helps when they can just like turn everything up to 1 million. But some of those sets are some of the best sets I've ever seen. And it's harder to do out in that big open air to really nail it where you're not in the middle of the pit and you're still like having fucking MDMA probably helps, but you know, you're feeling euphoria. Listening to like one of the Architects shows, I just remember being like, this is just the most mental thing in the world. Rain slowly trickling down, all the lights from the stage going through the rain.
Even just like watching those YouTube videos back, like it was for me the video. I think it was Polaris playing Unfamiliar.
Is that the one we're in?
And it was raining. It was raining. But I watched that and I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like that was a big.
One of the Polaris Unify videos, the camera like runs all the way around the back of the pit, and like you can see us, my missus, and a couple of mates of ours for like 2 seconds as the camera pans around. That's our claim to fame.
Fucking podcast.
We're in a Polaris video.
Yeah, it's fucking wicked. That would be so special playing on Unify, like, you know, it's a Friday night or a Saturday night, you know, up there, fucking flames on the stage and shit.
You need to be in the rolling fucking cage.
Hey, on the drum.
The
Joey and shit.
Yeah, that'd be killer.
So obviously the sound of Catalyst you were talking about before. So you've just released. I've forgotten it now. Something with skin in the title. What's the latest? Deeper than the skin.
Yeah.
Deep as
the skin.
Deep as the skin. Heavy as shit. About to release a Deftones cover shortly. The Deep as the Skin, obviously, you know, a natural song. Is that kind of the sound that we're going to look forward to releasing? Is it going to be a bit of everything? What are we? What's the direction we're going in?
Well,
go for it.
That song's kind of because I wrote it just after Stucky joined. So most of the stuff I was writing is a bit more melodic, a bit more techy. Whereas I know when Stucky joined, we just wanted to put something out, and like that other stuff, I've been working on it for so long, I don't want to like rush it. But the Deep as the Skin started off as a 15-second Instagram clip that I wrote just for my Instagram. And then wrote a start and a finish to it, and so I think it's a one-off. I definitely want to keep doing stuff like that, but
incorporate that sound and
definitely think
elements of it.
We've talked about the new stuff being more melodic, but I've said as well, definitely I want to stick to have. I never want to be that band that goes completely one way. I like albums that go from. You have a hell heavy track that's like a 3-minute track and it's just breakdown, and then you have the next track that has no breakdowns. I like that. I'm a metalhead still at the end of the day, so I definitely want to keep elements of Deep as the Skin, but the new stuff so it's so heavy, but it's also so like emotionally heavy too. So it's very,
I love that.
There's some band like this week when we had the Heartline boys on as well. I think they're a band from Adelaide that are doing a really good job of like the bandwidth being so far between in even parts of songs. You've got songs that like a good example of that, which they've kind of departed a little bit from it, but like early Wind Waker, like doing a really good job of like shit that's just like super groovy and like melodic and whatever. And then that just punch in the face of something out of nowhere. I love when bands do that well, like that element of surprise where you're just like getting into it and you're like, this is kind of cool on its own. And then you just get donkey kicked in the face by a fucking breakdown out of nowhere like that.
Well, that's my main thing when writing is I want people to be surprised and shocked, like listening to.
And we're at a point where like, I mean, almost everything's being done, right? That's the thing. Like, you know, you've got to become inventive in this space because the natural fucking thing of like, you know, verse, chorus, fucking breakdown, bridge, outro type thing. Like it's being done in 1,000 ways. So like finding ways to reinvent yourself or invent yourself even in a space that's already had so much. It's a fucking challenge in 2023 for sure.
It's why you do 182 breakdowns in one song.
Yeah, exactly.
Deep as the skin. Like the guy who mixed it, it's funny. I saw his markers when he sent it back that he made to like sort of follow the track, and it's like breakdown 1, breakdown 2, breakdown 3, breakdown 4, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
You got to do that, man. That's the thing is, there's still very much fucking. I mean, I love that song. I messaged you straight away. I was like, bro, this is fucking wild. That there's still very much a fucking space for that, and I think the disappointing thing for some of the bands that like started that way that have like completely gone away from that part.
That's what I was trying to
like,
bring up.
Yeah.
Like I don't never ever, if we started going too soft, I think that's when I'd be like, well, I'm getting away from what I wanted to start at.
Lost your essence.
Like, and that's one thing I like about Joe. Even these soft songs, there'll be a breakdown that's heavy as balls still in it, but it would just be fit in there so well that it doesn't take away from it. But then you also listen to other bands like, so I got a bit out of Acacia Strain because it was like, I'm just so sick of listening to breakdown. So it's like you said, I think it's so good when people stick to what they're doing, because there's so many bands out there that started heavy and now they completely gone soft, and you're like it's disappointing.
You're yearning for that. You're just yearning for that one. It doesn't even have to be a breakdown, just like
Something
that.
heavy.
You're just waiting for that moment, and it never comes. It's the biggest cock tease of all time when these bands like completely go from it, and you're like. And I understand you've got to evolve, like because
evolve, and you just got to have a balance. I think. Just
100%.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think you can go, all right, yeah, we kind of started, and some of these bands did where it was just like fucking too full on. And as they get older and shit as well, it's like that's hard to fucking sustain doing that live shows as they get bigger all the time. So I understand natural evolution, but then when you're listening to a song and you're thinking, all right, here it comes, and then it just never fucking arrives, and it just like the song ends, and you're like, what the fuck did I just listen to?
An album of that, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. So in terms of influence then for your new stuff, for all of you, I guess, where are you drawing from the most?
Oh,
We'll start with,
big one for Joe, and then
I don't know.
jump
Probably. Yeah, it probably.
That new Architects album, definitely.
Yeah.
I've listened to that so many times.
Yeah, the new Architects albums, they're not direct influence, but I love the pace of them, I think. There's some really fast tracks in there and like really groovy stuff. But North Lane for sure. Invent Anime.
Anyone going next Tuesday?
You going next Tuesday? See them?
I still need to get a ticket.
I'm not on a Tuesday. Yeah. Fuck. You boys, no?
I'm gonna, I reckon.
Fuck yeah. Well, I'll see you there.
We'll see you there, bro. Yeah.
I'm like, so I've got a comedy show on Kangaroo Island on Saturday night. My family's from KI. So I got to stay there and show my baby off to my 86-year-old nana. Coming home Tuesday morning, driving all the way back from Cape Jervis, and then going to Invent Anime. I'm like, not missing this fucking shit for the world.
And Weekend was Roman too. I
like them, but
Invent
they're
OGs. They really are OGs. You got to give them the respect for that. But
Invent
Anime
is that latest album.
Oh, it's unreal.
Yeah.
And that's a heaps good example of balls to the wall heavy and like
really techy.
I want to cry
Yeah.
sort of cleans as well.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You a Era fan?
Yeah.
Did you like their new song, Pale Iris? Fucking love that song. Oh.
They just keep pushing boundaries with their writing. It's insane.
And they've always, I've been on them since Augment as well, and I've always found that they were such a good, again, in a time where there wasn't as much of it as well, really techie, melodic shit. We've then just sick breakdown, beat down type stuff, and then they're still evolving within that. They're not just
Era.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's an evolved version of them without losing what made them popular or what I loved about them in Augment as well. So they're fucking fantastic.
I saw them at supporting North Lane 2017 at the Gov.
At the Gov. Yeah, I was there too.
I didn't know them, and then they came on, and I was like, oh my lord, this is insane.
Yeah. Really good live too. His cleans live are fucking wild.
Yeah. And they did covers on their self-titled.
Yep.
And that's what made me want to do a cover for Catalyst. They did a cover of Audio Slave.
Yep.
Yeah. And can't remember the other one. Stockholm Syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah.
What kind of cover is it?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
That's a good switch,
That's what's good. That's good that he doesn't know it's a cover. That's what you want to do.
Yeah. And the Deftones cover we're doing is not they haven't released that track. It's an unreleased song that they did from an album that never made it out, except for that one song. So I reckon if we don't say that it's a cover, people wouldn't know. No one would know.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, right. So in terms of the drum direction, then where do you want to take the drums in moving forward?
I don't know. My approach is always a bit different depending on, I guess, it's always what I'm listening to, and it's also what Joe throws at me.
Yeah.
So like if Joe throws at me something and, you know, he's got a vision in mind to put out a certain sound or a certain feel, I'll tend to try to create that. But like with me and Joe, we always like, we'll hear parts of a track that we're like writing and we'll both like be like, oh yeah, we need a blast beat there. And we'll be like, oh, I was thinking the exact same thing. You know? Like, so we'll sort of be on the same track with that sort of stuff. And I just take a bit of influence from everywhere. You know, I'll learn a bunch of songs and whatever, like from other bands. I'll be like, oh, that's a sick feel. I want to try to incorporate something like that.
Yeah. Well, I would be remiss not to mention fucking Sedative. The man's decked out in Kappa. I'm wearing my fucking Sedative tee. So you're helping those boys out as well with drums at the moment?
Yeah, helping / like in the band.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah, because they just had a bit of a dust up with the old fucking drummer.
Did they really? I didn't actually know
there
that.
was a big old social
Not
media.
an actual dust up, just a
social
social media
social
dust
dust
up. Yeah.
The classic.
Actual fisticuffs.
Hey, I'm not boxing on with the fucking with Matty at all. That guy's a fucking animal, dude. That guy will fuck me up.
Big unit. Yeah.
So does that? I mean, they're fucking capital H heavy, that band. So that would obviously.
Underline.
I like you bringing up Sedative because I play in Falsifer.
You're in Falsifer too?
Yeah, I'm in
No
Falsifer.
shit.
So having that hardcore band where I can do more hardcore stuff, and then I've got Catalyst where I can be groovy, bring in some elements of hardcore drumming, but also just do exactly what I want and all that sort of stuff. So I guess I take elements from.
How do you go juggling all of that?
It's a bit hectic at times, but people know that Catalyst is my number one.
Yeah,
so
killer.
Yeah, what a man.
Awesome.
So he says that on this podcast. He's on a Sedative podcast.
I'll come back on with Sedative and be like,
the man is wearing Kappa after all. So his voice says fucking Catalyst, but the Kappa says Sedative.
Nah, but everyone knows that Catalyst is Catalyst my baby. So but I try to balance it as best I can, and everyone knows that I'll tell other bands, I'll do everything I can to meet what you're trying to do and all that, but I still gotta do what I gotta do. As well,
can't clash with what you're doing with Catalyst.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's so good for you guys though. Again, if you get the opportunity to be like, cool, all right, well, fuck it. Us and Sedative, let's go do this East Coast tour. Yeah. You just play back-to-back fucking shows.
That's one of the things you brought up when he first joined.
Yeah, it's and you guys, again, it's just connections for you. When they need someone to come over there, they're like, hey, get over here, we'll fucking, put you up, and we'll put Catalyst on at the same time. Yeah. You go over and play for them, and then you get to fucking have Catalyst doing a WA show. So
and I've done that a couple of times. I've done that with when Catalyst played with Valhalla. I've played drums with Valhalla and Catalyst that night. Then I've done it with Catalyst and Falsifer. I reckon I might have done that once or twice.
Yeah.
That's because drummers are a rare breed, mate. It's hard to find a drummer.
It's hard to find a good drummer.
Really
I was going to say.
Yeah, there's plenty of fucking quotation drummers. But
There's
not a lot that you'd be happy playing 2 shows in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that.
What about vocally then? What about vocally then? Pass the mic over.
Yeah,
let's talk about
influencing you
vocals.
these
So
days?
big thing again. 23 was my baby. Always will be.
Yeah.
Means the world to me. One big thing about doing music again, I was never going to do a heavy band again. I was just going to do little side projects and release them online and stuff and not do anything until I went on tour and did a fill-in show for these guys in Sydney, and I was like, oh, they're so motivated.
What a shame.
I know, fuck's sake, man. I meant that in a good way. Fucking now I have to, pull up my socks and do some shit again. But it's been the best decision I've ever made. And in saying that, the first thing I talked to Joe and Siv when I joined, they were like, they were saying they're a bit worried about me sounding, they didn't want me to sound like, my other bands.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, I want to be something different. And I said, first thing I said, I want to eventually be Nathan Stuckey from Catalyst, not Nathan Stuckey from these other bands, or you didn't know him from there. I want to be different. And already I was trying to do this new vocal range stuff, just listening to lots of Architects and just mainly big metalcore stands like Ghost Inside and stuff like that, but ones that are doing a bit of both.
Yeah.
And I remember Joe saying something in practice about something. He's like, "Is that a new tone? I've something noticed." And I was like, "Yeah. I haven't used it yet in any recording." And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to use that on the new stuff." Sick. So I think I'm just my influences is still the same. My favorite vocalists will always be Winston McCall and Sam Carter and stuff like that. But I think my biggest influence for this new stuff is to sound better, stronger, more skilled than I ever have. So that's what I want to do. And again, because the music fits that.
Yeah.
With sorry, I don't know why I keep looking at Justin.
That's all right, bro.
Looking at you and all. Just like,
I'm a handsome motherfucker.
He's just like, ooh. It's the ginger beard.
It's the present. I think it's the presence. It's just tall, right? I think that's where I just want to come in and like just blow people away and be like, oh, this is like the best thing he's ever done. Because you said that people know who, like, I don't want to sound cocky, but people know, in Adelaide know, oh, he's been in all these other bands.
Yeah.
I want them to hear the new Callis stuff and be like, oh my God, this is insane. And I've got the room to do that in this. Yeah. Where in 23, again, I love 23, but we were a hardcore band. I could go low and I could go high and I could sound angry, but with this, I can sound emotional.
Yeah. Sounds like we might have a clean singing Stucky on the horizon.
I was just going to say, have you held a note yet? Have you gone a fucking...
Nah, I can't do it. I can do like maybe we're working on some pitch screaming stuff, but that's
I like pitch screaming.
Yeah, we've got to sing it in the guitarist, the guitarist Ryan. He sings.
Oh,
he sings, cool.
And he's a great singer, so I wouldn't take that away from him.
Yeah, killer. All right, sweet.
Now, the show, when I saw you that night, I didn't even know you'd joined the band yet, and I saw you with the Loon. Was that the Loon and Heartline show? I reckon it was.
Within Destruction show.
Yeah, that was actually my like test show. That was like they were like, let's put you on this show and like see how you fit with the band after Sydney, because that was my first show playing with them as like I'm actually trying out.
Yeah,
and they were like, yeah, come on this show, and fucking Civ dog. Fucking did the little prank on me. Like, so I've practiced all up to this show, coming up to this Within Destruction show, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, I really don't want to play the show on a Tuesday night if I'm not in the band. Like, because it's fucking hard work for me to get out on a Tuesday. Yeah. And like, I don't really want to learn this whole set again and like go through this. But I would have, because I've known Civ for a long time, since he was young. He supported 23, and he's my good friends. I was like, I want to help him out, right? And then as this week practice before the show, he's like to me, oh, we've got some bad news, like, and some good news. He's like, good news, like, you're a really good vocalist. Bad news, we're going to go with someone else. And I remember just like sitting there, not knowing how to act, because I was just so angry and upset. I was like, oh my God, I just put all this effort in and recorded this song with them, and like, they're just going to pick someone else. And then he's like, no, I'm just joking. And he threw like a shirt at me, and I was like, for fuck's sake. Like, but yeah, I was.
Those exact words, but you're on the right.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So the funny thing is, and I don't know the story with the last vocalist, but from my own personal experience, because I saw you guys at the Relica and Loon show only weeks beforehand, before that show. And for me, like, I noticed I like a level up even in that amount of time, just with and that's your fucking test show. But like, it stuck out to me as like seeing you guys so recently, where there's not really that much time for you guys to fucking suddenly be different or whatever. Yeah. But it felt like you'd kind of nailed it even in that test show. So I'm excited for, whatever the next step is for you guys, because I noticed it that night even as well.
Well, I thought that show was fucking average from us, to be honest.
Which one's that one?
The Within Destruction show.
I think the last
it's just always rough playing Enigma, like to an empty, like not empty, but it was. Yeah, no one's moving and no one wants to come forward. And
well, both those shows got stung, because the one before there was the gig at the uni. So I remember Pato did your sound and had to run to the fucking...
That's right. And you had to go play with Falsey.
Yeah, so me and Pato left there and ran straight there and jumped on and played.
Oh, wow.
And then the second show was on a fucking Tuesday. So like, you're up against it both times. But yeah, no, I noticed it straight away. First of all, I was like, holy fuck, is that Stucky? And then I was just like listening, intently. But if you're saying that's a shit show, well, then I'm excited to see
I think we've sort of found our groove. And like Melbourne as well. Yeah. We played real good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've played well in the state when like you get people buying merch, because like they don't have to. They and like we had hit like straight away, like people just coming straight up. It was great.
Killer.
Fuck yeah. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait for you guys to be. So, yeah, obviously we've got the volume show and your guys are on second coming up in. Is there still tickets left for that? It hasn't sold out yet, has it?
No, it hasn't sold out yet.
Bro,
no.
that needs to fucking sell out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It needs a
It
push.
is. It's actually bananas. As someone who is such a fucking volume stan, like I look at their plays on their videos and stuff sometimes, and I'm like, how are you guys not monolithically big? Like I actually don't understand how they've flown under the radar for so many people.
Yeah.
When again, the variety that they've got from Edge of the Earth, Wormholes, whatever in Via. And then even their new shit, like the last album, like Malevolent and shit like that, is a fucking absolute weapon. And they're just not like there's a lot
they're
of,
big, don't get me wrong.
they are big,
But,
but there's a lot of bands that I'm like, there's not a lot going on here. And you got fucking 7 million views on every track, and I'm like, how? I don't. It's just weird how they've managed to exist in this corner of the world and like have people like us who are like diehard fans, and like they're the top of my bucket.
I actually
list of
think
bands
it's the
I haven't seen.
technicality. I think it scares people.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't want to listen to like Wormholes even. Like they're one of their biggest songs. It's like a 5 minute, 6 minute song.
Yeah.
People don't want to, like I've actually talked to Joe about that. I've said like some of the songs he's been writing are 5-6 minute songs.
Time signatures.
And which is sick, but it's like they're for singles, people don't want to listen to that sometimes.
It's a hard, like there's a fine line of pushing boundaries where you want to try something new, but you don't want it to be outrageous because people won't want to listen if it's 5-6 minutes long when you're trying to tell a story in that time. But yeah, that like the latest Volumes album, super like they're trying new stuff, and I love it. I think it's great, but yeah, you're right. It's flowing under the radar. I think.
Yeah, it is.
Did it come out like during COVID?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
So that probably fucked him a bit.
And like the guitarist died or something like that happened, and I think just like some shit stuff happened, and the members swapped over with Gus. Like they used to back in the old stuff. They had the rap and the kind of screaming. Now it's kind of just the screaming and the singing.
But that new, what's the name of the new screamer?
I love it.
Well, the new screamer
both
is
called
the old
Mike.
screamer.
No, I mean the guy who took over.
Yeah, I
from
can't remember.
Gus.
Mike.
Yeah.
Aren't they both? They're both called Mike.
Oh yeah, they are.
They
Yeah,
are.
one's
Yeah,
Mike
yeah.
and one's Michael Barr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Michael
they
Barr was the old one.
contrast together is really good as well. Like they do such a good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just surprised, man. Like even when when the tour got announced, and obviously but I don't know. I lost my goddamn mind. But it's just like a lot of people were like, oh yeah, I've never really gotten into them. I'm like, how? You like all these other like these guys are fucking sick. So
Yeah.
A lot of our friends
is
don't,
wild.
like a lot of my boys from the old age, like they'll know like Wormholes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
Or like,
Yeah.
or I'm like a massive stan like you. Like I used to listen to Edge on the Earth on like repeat.
Yeah,
And then when the next album came out and like they did like the big singing songs in those and like Pistol Play. I was like listening to Pistol Play on the way here.
Yeah, bro.
And I was like,
Mixture,
man,
the fucking
like
mix,
those
yeah.
songs on both those two albums are insane. And then I continued to listen to them throughout. But yeah, I don't understand. But then I've got like Jay Page. He's biggest sweater of them.
Yeah.
So like it's just I think it's the people that like the riffy, techie stuff. But some people just want to hear breakdowns, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I'm a fucking jet. Give me that fucking. Just give me
the-
zeros and ones.
dun,
Yeah, bro. Should we get into the questions?
Let's do it. Before we do, I'm going to take a break because I need to piss.
All right.
Right, really badly.
Man's had some
The
fucking vodkas.
I've had
It's
some
gone straight
vodkas.
through 'em.
So we'll do that, and
Alright.
then we'll do the song of the week, and then the
Okay.
questions.
All right, I'm going to start getting these boys thinking about their song of the week.
Yeah,
while you're
yeah,
going.
wicked.
So we have a segment that we forget about all the fucking time. We haven't done it for a while. I've already.
still live, but like.
Yeah, we're still going. Man's just having a piss. So what I want you to think about while we're having some. Yeah, we can talk about the topics. While he's pissing, what song have you just been fucking thrapping this week? Doesn't have to be a new release. It can be one that's just come back
wanna
through.
sound like-
That has just all of a sudden found its way back into you.
on repeat because
Yeah.
forget.
Well,
Everyone
I'll
pulls their
start
Spotify.
I'll start it
out.
off because so for me, I'm like all the people that you've just been talking about that didn't really listen to Volumes. Like they never really.
Yep.
For me, just I don't know, just never really listened to them. Then obviously they announced the tour the first time, and so I listened to a little bit. And then this time around, I've just been smashing it. So like Bend and FBX, is it?
Yeah, the opening track.
Yeah, I've just been smashing those. And lately I've been going through another phase where I've just been smashing Gloom as well.
Yeah.
That's just come back in and just, been loving it.
Yeah, they I was trying to think of when I saw them last. But yeah, they're fucking sick, bro. Yes, yeah. They were killer that night as well.
Yeah.
Song of the week for you. You've got one.
Yeah, it's no, Viljada. Do you know?
Yes.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just dropped a new single. It's fucking insane. I love it so much. Like, makes me want to move to Sweden.
Really?
Well, I mean, you can go over there anyway and play
we've
some
got
songs in
Helsinki on our
fucking
board, so-
Helsinki on lock.
Yeah. Play some songs in a 5/3 time signature and everyone will be around it.
Yeah, no, it's insane. And Humanity's Last Breath as well. Their latest album.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah,
bro,
it's
I
insane.
actually,
They dropped some new shit.
I don't know how to actually pronounce it, but Balua, whatever it is, off the part one.
Yeah.
The fucking that shit that they just so good, bro. Just makes you want to donkey kick everyone in a fucking 3
I love it.
kilometer
Donkey
radius.
kick. I love that. You're going to start saying
Song of the week, Mr. Stuckey.
Song of the week, Forgotten by Plotting You. I can't get enough of that. I actually, you know what? I went off Plotting You, the last album. I didn't like that last album. I was like, you know what? They went heavy, then they went soft, then they went kind of weird and heavy, and I didn't really like that last album. So then when they released something new the other day, I was like, I'm not going to listen to it, right?
Yeah.
Saw this breakdown, heard this breakdown on TikTok. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was Plotting You. And I was like, and I listened to this new 2 track they put out, and I was like, and now I can't stop listening to it because I was like, oh my God, it's like old Plotting You mixed with better, I don't know, it's just sick.
Yeah.
So
but I find even their like softer stuff is sick too, though.
yeah, I liked
get
the
around it.
soft album, but then they went into that their last album before this release. I didn't really like.
You didn't like
I didn't
it?
like the mix. I think mix is a big thing for me, and I'm like, it's like North Lane Node. I could never listen to North Lane Node because I hate the mix.
Yeah.
And if I can't hate the mix, I can't listen to it.
Parkway Deep Blue.
Yeah.
we always
Well,
talk
that's
about
just the
that.
kick.
Yeah.
I think-
I mean, it's not.
Deep Blue's
the
one of my
guitars-
favorite albums.
Yeah, but the kick drum is fucking horrendous.
kick drum
dude.
sucks,
Sounds like a fucking kicked in shit
Yeah,
tin.
that sounds like a fucking cardboard box.
Yeah. Song of the week, my man.
Song of the week for me is actually going to be Antimatter by Silent Planet.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I've never been huge into them. Right, I've always thought, they're killer.
Yeah.
But then they dropped this one, and I was like, fuck, this is just a wicked progression they're going down.
Yeah.
Such a different sound, that modern, real super low tuning, but like that really eerie kind of like, almost like cyberpunk sound.
I was gonna say, and watching the film clip as well, it's like it belongs in Total Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a movie like that. It sounds like soundtrack. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool, and like, I mean, there are a few people doing that kind of sound now, but I think that just the way that they executed it in this track, I'm so looking forward to everything that they're going to be bringing out in the future now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All right, Song of the Week. I did shout out that one before, but it's not really Song of the Week. I only found it today, but that was that equivalent exchange by Clayton King where the guitar is just unbelievable. But I will give my Song of the Week to Burn with the Sun by cliche band name As Within, So Without that we found while we were playing Diablo fucking the other night. Where I was like, put this fucking song on right now.
Yeah.
But also, after we hung out that night, have you guys heard Shields before?
yes.
You know Shields from the UK,
Yeah.
former fucking
Sleep Token.
Sleep Token vocalist is back in
Kubrick.
Shields. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sam Kubrick.
Yeah, right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from
there you go.
Shields. So they're back together and playing
Wait,
maybe
Sleep
playing
Token's
shows
a-
again.
Sleep Token Vocal's still in it though.
No,
different
original.
one.
The earlier vocalist. So
His heavy band's called Shields.
yeah, and he's guitarist and cleans in that band. They're fucking wild. If you haven't listened to them,
Yeah.
go listen to them. They're massive, and they've got back together. So after we were listening to them, hanging out the other night, I've been thrapping them
You've been
again
back there,
as well.
haven't you?
Yeah, bro. All right, let's get into the questions.
Let's do it.
We have a recurring segment for every guest that comes on. Same set of questions, except we usually fuck up the order and forget one or two.
Never know the
But
order.
we always get the first one and the last one right, and that's all that matters. So
Exactly.
starting with you on the right-hand side, what is your favourite song of all time?
Oh my god. Oh fuck. Look, it could be Quantum Flux.
Yeah.
I'll say Quantum Flux.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. I still remember where I was when there's a few songs that I remember where I was.
me too. Yeah.
And Quantum Flux is one of those songs. I remember I was whacked out of my fucking mind at my mate's house, and we were listening to his music on YouTube, and one of them was like, "Oh yeah, new North Lane drop. We should check it out." And we listened to it probably about 10 times, like in a row, and just that riff through the chorus, I was just like, this is the most insane thing I've ever fucking
And the
heard in my
unpredictable
life.
snare, that always got me.
Oh, yeah, we
We
used to
played a
play,
game
yeah.
where you try and predict the snare.
Yeah,
And
guess
you
the
can't do
snare.
it. You can't fucking do it.
Yeah, even though I've listened to that song now 4,000 times,
You always
you
miss
still
the snare.
try and fucking get it.
Yeah.
So
You
good.
can't get it.
You.
Yeah.
Unless you're you and you know how to play it.
Can you get the
Yeah.
snares every time?
With
On
with,
Fly
oh,
Flies.
oh, yeah. Nah, that took a while to get the patterns of that track, bro.
Yeah, so he's such an insane. I was listening to Discoveries, the song, the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, the drums in that is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
That end build up part.
Yeah. He just again donkey kick. Well, it's like a more of a soft. It's like a gentle donkey kick, but you
Yeah.
want him to like
little donkey.
yeah, you want him to like be affected but not fly.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's
I
Discoveries.
want to lose their feet a little bit.
Yeah. Favorite song of all time.
Favorite
mate?
song of all time. I don't actually have a set song. You probably heard this a million times by people.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what we normally say to people. You
Yeah.
can give a top 3.
But you know, what? I'm just gonna give you like one of my old school favorite tracks that never
Yeah.
gets old for me. People Equal Shit, Slipknot.
Yeah.
Just
fuck,
for me, that's just
good.
always no matter when I listen to it, it's
Yeah.
it never gets old. And that was like
Yeah.
one of those sort of
Banger
gateways,
title as
you know?
well. Just
Yeah.
like what a fucking just straight to the point.
Yeah.
People with.
Straight.
I played it for my solo performance as well in high school.
Yeah, your year 12, like your year 12 one or
I did
earlier
it.
one?
I did like my year 12 one in year 10.
Oh
So-
fuck! All right.
I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, that guy, but you know, nah. So yeah,
Name
nah,
dropping.
technically,
Yeah, I'm in 72 bands. Did my year 12 and thing, and I have opinions about trans people. We won't talk about it. Stucky, favorite song of all time.
Hit us with it, brother.
Boneyard Sparkle Drive. Because of the memories that came with it. It was the start of everything. It was when we had mates around, the big jump, they all jumped on the last little sinking or we're sinking or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like now every time I hear it, it just makes me smile.
Yeah,
I
and
think
there's
makes me
just
think,
always blood in the water.
makes me
Yeah.
think like would old Stucky be like, holy shit, you're playing with volumes. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
that's the kind of,
yeah.
when I listen to that song or really anything from that album, I'm like, man, I'm just proud of myself, you know?
Fuck yeah, dude. That's sick.
So I had a tattoo drawn up that I never got because I'm a fucking tight ass and I never wanted to spend the money. But I had a tattoo drawn up that was like Boneyards themed, which was like a ship that was like upside, well, you know, like tipped, capsized, and then had like a shark coming out of the water with like blood and shit coming out of its mouth. And then on the mast of the ship, it said sinking, always sinking. And I was like determined I was going to get it. And I never did, but fuck yeah, that song
always
is
time,
up
brother.
there.
There's
Yeah,
always
you never know.
time. Yeah.
These pasty arms could use
you've
some
got real
fucking...
estate. You've got real estate.
That song is just such a banger. Never not enjoyed when it comes on, and that sinking, always sinking is probably one of the
Yeah.
best like pre-breakdown.
Yeah. You
lines
don't
of
hear
all
much
time.
gang vocal anymore, do you?
No.
I was actually thinking this today because I was listening to Antagonist AD on the way and I was like,
Yeah.
not even hardcore bands do it anymore.
No.
No.
No,
Yeah.
not even Ghost Inside do
We
it
listened to the
anymore.
new Ghost Inside. There's no gang vocals in that. It's a fucking banger.
Oh, yeah.
But
Earned it.
yeah,
Yeah, I own it. Yeah, that's
banger.
good.
It's fucking
Banger.
sick.
That's actually on my repeat as well, so I've been smashing
Yeah,
that too.
It's, we were talking about this the other night. Like it's like again just different enough
Yeah.
to be like, oh,
They
I
drop
like
the
this.
tuning, they do a bit more singing, but it's still
but it's
quintessential
still
Ghost Inside.
it's still
Yeah.
what makes them fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Want to hit him with question number 2?
Question number 2, boys. Who is your favourite comedian or comedic actor of all time?
Mark Normand.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you see him when he was here recently?
Nah, I missed it. I was spewing.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
literally like today. I was listening to him on Whitney Cummings' podcast. Actually,
Okay,
I just
yeah.
listen to every podcast he's on because
Yeah.
like his little fucking one-liners that are just the most horrendous shit of all time.
Tuesdays with Stories and We Might Be Drunk. Just
Yeah, so good.
Best
yeah,
podcast.
him and Shane Gillis at the moment. Like I'm just such a he as a comedian as well. Like Shane Gillis is like my new fucking spirit animal. Just a fat drunk dickhead. Like that's what I love being. That.
Did you see
being.
him a few months ago?
No, I missed him when he was here as well. One of like a guy that
good.
I've done like lots of shows with got to open for him.
Yeah.
I had something else on. I can't remember what it was, but I was devastated that I missed him. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
And I heard he was like he didn't have a great show because everyone was telling him to do a show. He's like, I don't know if I can do a
Oh,
show.
that needs to fucking stop.
Yeah, they're trying
Yeah.
us, cunts
Especially
making it.
to like international acts as well.
Yeah. It's also like not in comedy. I get it. Bands, I get it a bit
But
more
even
because
then,
it's
you're
a
like,
bit
fucking
more.
just play the music, don't do this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But like a bit, like at least with a band, I kind of get it. And then maybe it's not the vocalist, but the dickhead behind the drums will fucking do a show. There's more options. But when a comedian's just trying to tell his fucking yuck.
Yeah, yeah.
And the crowd's like essentially heckling them by yelling shooey.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that shit off. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Favorite comedian or comedic actor?
Favorite comedian,
Dice
Dice.
Clay.
Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dice would be my favorite. Man.
Fuck, we've never had that before. That is a throwback to old fucking Andrew Dice Clay. That's killer.
Yeah, Dice at the minute, man.
How did you like stumble onto fucking Dice?
I don't know, just like Italian culture.
Yeah, right. Okay, that makes
just sort
sense.
of comes. Yeah, his name gets thrown in the mix a bit. But
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah,
Fuck
Dice,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
Is he still going these days? Or?
I've seen him on podcasts.
Yeah, he's still doing that
He
little
sort of
bit.
dropped the character a bit, but
Yeah, he still wears the leather and
yeah. Has a fag on the
yeah.
on the
killer.
podcast
A
as
cigarette.
well. Yeah. A cigarette. Yeah.
So, what's your opinion?
We'll edit that. Yeah. We won't edit it. We'll turn the volume up really loud on that bit. You'll just be like listening. It was about
Bill Burr.
Out of context.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can't fucking.
Bill
go
Burr
wrong.
because he reminds me of my dad.
yeah.
And when I only got into him as I got older, but fuck me, I was in tears when like he brought out that stand up and he was talking about fighting with your missus and then you call her a cunt and then
Yeah.
you've just lost
Yeah.
instantly.
Yeah.
I just love that shit. Like I love family stuff because I grew up in a big family. So, and otherwise than that, if you said actor wise, like I think Sandberg just kills me. Andy Sandberg, just because it's so fucking stupid all the time and like
Yeah.
I just that kind of comedy kills me. So
Yeah, I was talking about Hot Rod to someone the other day. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah.
Have you seen though Andy Sandberg's part of the James Franco roast? Have you ever seen that before?
I haven't seen that.
It's probably my favorite roast because it's like an anti-roast. Like he's not actually
He's been
saying
nice then.
anything fucking negative at all. But just the way he goes about it, it's just fucking so funny. And then he just like does little puns about like roast shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, hilarious.
Hot
One of the
Rod's a
funniest things
fucking
ever.
Great movie, dude.
Yeah, Hot Rod
It
is
really
fucking
is a
amazing.
great movie.
I like to party.
Yeah.
Question number 3. Oh, I fucking lose it after this.
I don't even know. We only know the first two and the last one.
Yeah,
so
that's
we're just
right.
How many you got that you got to
Like 6, I think.
Not really that many, to be honest, for 98 podcast episodes.
You'd think we'd remember, but
like 20 or something.
Yeah, nah, not that many. Question
just
number
get laminated and just write it like
Yeah,
have
I
it
know,
written
right?
down or
Yeah,
something.
we should have a little fucking
that's
cheat sheet,
overestimating
dude.
our organisation, though.
Yeah, we need a laminated set list for our fucking guest shoes.
Fuck.
What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given? Let's just fucking go with
Let's
that.
go with that one. Let's do it.
Jeez, I don't know.
Anyone can jump in. Doesn't have to go in order. We're starting
Yeah.
with you, but if someone's got
Someone else.
someone's got a banger piece of advice. Yeah, Stucky's old. He's mentioned how many times he's old
wise.
tonight. Yeah.
I just think like my mum and dad have always supported and said do what makes you happy no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if it makes other people unhappy. And I think that's just one thing people, especially unless you're fucking what makes you happy makes other people unhappy, then maybe not do that. But you know, like if something can bring a positive change in your life, even if it is just seeing mates on the weekend or going home and sitting in your room and playing guitar, like just I think that like people need to give more time to themselves and let themselves be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
Killer,
dude.
bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that.
Yeah, I think mine's
Now
similar.
follow that.
Well, yeah, like my mum always says, speak your mind even if your voice shakes. So, which I would
Love
always
that.
like that. So,
I like that.
yeah, it's just sort of like yours. Just be yourself and don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's fucking
I'm just
awesome.
gonna say that. Like, yeah, just do what you want. Like, just be yourself.
Yeah.
And just do what you want. Like, don't think about what other people are gonna think of you. Just put yourself out. Just be yourself and just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Especially
And
being
that's it.
emos, I think we all know where that comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's you dress different and everything. Like when you're younger than that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I want to actually just quickly hijack this thing because this just made me think about this post I shared last night that literally like had a fucking existential crisis like laying in bed last
Yeah, go
night.
on, hit me.
It's not that long, so I won't take too much of your time, but it's like
It does look like
I'll get through it. Not that long.
paragraph.
I don't know. Like my friend here, I read at a 12th grade level in year 10, so I'll get through it pretty quickly. No, it just says, have you ever thought about this? In 100 years, like in 21,
I saw
23,
this one, bro, yeah.
we will all be buried. We're getting super emo right now. We'll all be buried with our relatives and friends. Strangers will live in our homes we fought so hard to build. They will own everything we have today. All our possessions will be unknown and unborn, including the car we spent a fortune on. Will probably be scrapped, preferably in the hands of an unknown collector. Our descendants will hardly know will hardly know who we were, and nor will they remember us. How many of us know our grandfather's father? After we die, we will be remembered for a few more years, and then we're just a portrait on someone's bookshelf, and after a few years after that, we're history. Photos, deeds disappear in history's oblivion. We won't even be memories. If we pause one day to analyze these questions, perhaps we would understand how ignorant and weak the dream to achieve it all was. If we could only think about this, surely our approaches, our thoughts would change. We would be different people. Always having more, no time for what's really valuable in life. I'd change all this to live and enjoy the walks I've never taken, the hugs I didn't give, the kisses for our children and our loved ones, these jokes we didn't have time for. Those would certainly be the most beautiful moments to remember. After all, they would fill our lives of joy, and we waste it day after day with greed and intolerance. Fucking wild shit, right?
Yeah, shit.
And like I'm all, like for me, and I mean we are massive advocates for like mental health stuff and that on the podcast, but like for me, someone who I really do try to embody that as much as I can, but like sometimes you need that fucking bitch slap of reality to just be like, at the moment as well, like I'm working my fucking ass off all the time, and like, you know, I'm exhausted at the end of the day, and I've got like 2 kids, and I'm just like, it's so important to have those moments just to be like, fuck, like this actually doesn't matter. And for me as well, like, because I've been made redundant twice in like the last 7 years, and like that's something I try to remember all the time when I'm like grinding away, and I'm just like, I can be gone tomorrow and no one gives a fuck, both work or fucking life-wise, you know what I mean? I've got to enjoy the fucking seconds we have right now. So just echoing what you were saying about like, do the shit that makes you happy, as long as it doesn't come at the expense of other people. Like prioritize that, because that's the shit that matters, not the fucking 3:30 a.m. wake-ups or whatever else. And for you, you know, going like, I'm fucking going hard in this band because that's the shit that has, like, I don't remember what I did at work ever, but I remember the Melbourne show. I remember the fucking, I remember the feeling he gave me when he said, "You're not in the fucking band." That's the shit that matters.
I remember that.
Yeah, I'm gonna always remember that now.
Yeah.
Sweatiness I got. I was like,
And because you knew him personally, you don't want to be like, "Dude, are you fucking serious?" So you were just being like,
From the second I started that conversation,
you can say your words now.
your whole demeanor changed as soon as I said good and bad news. I couldn't hold it that long at all.
Hey, you didn't hold that long. It'd be so hard.
Yeah.
And Joe's sitting there like red as fuck.
I don't know how you were able to keep a straight face.
you're gonna have to get him back at some point. Just be like, "Hey, like,
the drums got shipped to fucking Asia and sent to Europe. We went to Europe. Sorry, man.
just be like, oh, there's rumors, man, about like the actual commitment to Catalyst with this whole falsifer and Saudi thing." And like, me and Joe have been a little bit worried, so keep that one in your back pocket. You could have just dropped it then. You could have been like, actually, we wanted to do it on the podcast so that we can hold him accountable.
Actually, and then he like this thing comes down and it's just, what's it called when you have what's it called?
Like a teleprompter.
Intervention.
Teleprompter comes down.
Steve, you gotta stop joining bands, bro.
And then your new drummer comes in with like a WWE entrance music as well.
And the new drummer's MIDI.
Yes, dude.
Just a bit, just a laptop. Fucking Lehman's.
AI just
Fuck yeah. I love how we went from whatever the fuck I just read out to that. And that's the beauty of this podcast.
All right.
Question
Next
number 4.
man.
Let's hit him with name 3 things you boys are grateful for today.
Damn. I got you.
Partner, family, Catalyst.
Fantastic.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Love it.
Short, sharp, simple, brother.
Yeah, I
How
love
we
that.
like it.
Yeah. 3 things I'm grateful for. Yeah, bro, look, you've just sort of...
Stolen it.
Yeah.
It's like that's what you should do.
He's trying to think of something
Actually,
different.
you know
That's
what?
why he got in quick.
I'm going to give a more detailed explanation. I'm really happy at work with where I am at, like in life right now, in sort of all aspects. You know, like my, you know, fitness, gym, like health, and all that. My relationships, partner, my friends, my family, my work, my job, relationship with my boss is killer.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I guess I'm just grateful for like sort of everything at the minute.
Living.
Just
Yeah. Fantastic.
really actually just enjoying it at the
Good.
minute. So
Good. Fantastic.
Fuck yeah, man.
What about you,
Love
Joe?
that.
Yeah, just moved in with my girlfriend, so I'm pretty
awesome.
grateful for that. Yeah.
Yep. So it's going well then. You didn't move in and be like, what the fuck am I
Yeah.
saying?
Female. We want to
You can tell us the truth, man. She might
No,
not.
I love it. It's good. Like the place smells nice and there's lots of plants everywhere. So
Yeah.
yeah.
He's saying that, yeah, that almost was like a hostage. That was a hostage video. The place smells nice and there's lots of candles everywhere.
live, laugh, laugh.
No, my audio work's sort of taken off a bit. I'm getting heaps of gigs with that. I get to do what I like, which is nice. And yeah, family. Like,
Both your boys didn't say Catalyst, so you're both out.
Yeah, wow.
I incorporate
The more OG members.
no, Catalyst is a part of the audio work.
I
I do.
live family,
Oh,
we're
okay,
friends
yeah.
as well. So.
Yeah.
Family, we're family, right?
And
Yeah,
Nathan
of
Stark,
course,
we're
of
grateful
course.
for Nathan.
Beautiful.
Yeah, him trying to hold his place after what we just talked about before. Now he's being cute. He doesn't want to get fucking. Doesn't want to get expedited.
That's right.
Yeah, vocal machine.
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
It's just this man. Like, yeah, it's a solo project now. Just me and my laptop.
Yeah.
It's
what
funny.
are you
People
grateful
ask
for?
us. People ask us. Oh, you got a bass player? Like, where's your bass player? I'm like, his name is Mr. MacBook Air. Thank you very much.
MacBook Air.
Yeah.
That's so good. But there is a second guitarist though, isn't there? That's the one that does the cleans as
but
well.
like, we tune so low that like, why would you want to watch someone play bass that low? It's not interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
So-
hurts at that point, isn't it?
Yeah.
One hurt.
It's just a feel thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel guilty doing it. Yeah.
You might as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
One less fucking dickhead you got to lug around on tour as well,
exactly.
right? If there's only 4 of you, you can fit in a sedan.
laptops in one man.
4 laptops, 1 man.
Yeah. He just got the drum rack set up. It was his laptops.
Awesome.
What are you grateful for, my friend?
My friend, okay, you know what? Lately, I've been really grateful for my partner.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
she's been really carrying me through and just inspiring me lately. And yeah, so I'm just super grateful for her. Obviously,
Yeah, fuck
among
yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
But no, because we've done it so many times now, we can't
Yeah,
be
of
fucking
course.
speak
Yeah,
Bring it
yeah.
the same thing.
everything every time. But
Like,
yeah,
do you
no,
really love your family that much,
that
dickhead?
much? I'm saying it again. Like, no, but I'm really grateful for Maddie. So yeah, what about you, brother?
I want to say I'm grateful for the opportunity with the Next Step at the moment. So a charity that I've been working with, like they are based in the south, but they've asked me to start running events in the north. So I've just booked my second event with them where it's just like I do comedy, but this is not doing comedy. It's just talking about mental health and like getting around to sport clubs and stuff like that. And like even just organising this second one, I just find so much joy in it because it's something that I'm actually really passionate about. So shout out to the Next Step. We're actually we should have had them on by a pod by this time of the year almost. We might have to try and squeeze one in by the end, but
we will.
yeah, shout out to the Next Step
Shout out
boys
to
and
the
thanks
boys.
for the opportunity to kind of join the charity and help them out, spreading the word.
And that last one you did went really well.
Yeah, it was
really
amazing.
Good
Like,
community vibe, man.
yeah, it's just like hearing people's stories and like shit that, you know, the things that they've been through and that, you know, them coming out and being like, you know, thanks for putting this on. And it's just so good to hear people kind of spreading that message. Like, I've talked about this so much on the pod, but just for your guys' benefit, I've been doing comedy for 10 years and I love it, but it's like, it's not, you know, when I'm doing a 5-10 minute set, I'm not taking people on a fucking journey of like, you know, mental health or whatever. I'm just talking about my dick most of the time, you know? So
I've been to Crank a Comedy, bro.
yeah,
Don't-
there you go.
Is that
right?
what you did
So-
with the Gawler line? There's no
yeah, right. Yeah, all my dick on the Gawler line, right? So I've loved the podcast because it's allowed me to add more elements of the mental health stuff. But now being able to do that on an actual scale where I can, you know, use my complete lack of fear of public speaking to talk about shit that I'm actually passionate about has just been really amazing. So yeah, excited to do more
Fantastic.
work with them. That's what I'm grateful for.
Beautiful.
Nice,
Beautiful.
bro. Thank you, bro. Should we hit him with a final
I
question?
think we should.
Yeah, I think
You
we
hit
should.
him with
All
it.
right.
You hit him with it.
This
Boys.
one's this is we're gonna get real heavy right now, right?
I feel like it's not going to get heavy.
yeah, he saw straight through me.
Straight through the facade.
Comedian, you know?
Yeah, this motherfucker knows what's up.
He knows
all right.
All right.
Let's get down to business, though. This is the one that matters. All right, what are you grateful for? Who gives a fuck? This is the question that people come for. Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses, and why?
Duck-sized horses. You know what? Give me the 100 duck-sized horses, bro.
Yeah.
Donkey kick him.
Yes. Yes. Full circle moment. Yeah, bro. That's sick.
Love it.
And I've always thought about kicking them forwards, but I've never thought about the
Kicking them
backwards,
backwards
kick. Yeah,
because then
dude.
your head's away from them. You're a little bit safer.
Yeah, just put on a fucking a nice like breakdown field track, like maybe the latest Catalyst single, and then just donkey kick fucking horses everywhere.
Yeah.
I love that. Beautiful. You guys going to differ from that? You're going to take on
I
that?
want to take he's the leader, Catalyst. We'll take that, you know.
Yeah.
He charges into war. Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
On to the donkey kicking.
Give me the horses now.
I see Joe's mind ticking over. I feel like he's going to take down the big fuck off duck.
I think so.
Yeah?
I think I can just take him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Hiding his feathers, you know.
Yeah, just a couple of punches to the eyes.
Yeah, all the eyes. We've had a lot of the duck's anatomy taken out.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone's blinded the duck
No,
before. And
see-
I always love a new innovation.
New innovative way. See, here's the thing, right? We've always disagreed on this. He's always gone,
Donkey
I'll
kick.
fucking fight the horses. I don't give a shit. And I've always gone, fuck, I would have smashed the big duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Or hit its legs out or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Right? And we've always, it's kind of been split down the middle,
Yeah,
hasn't it?
the whole podcast.
The whole podcast.
There
So
should
it's-
be
but-
fuck any other personality test. It's like it should just be are
do
you
you
a fucking
fight
a
the duck or the
horse-sized duck
horse?
or the thing, and then
Yeah.
that
But I've never had someone say they'll fucking go for the...
they'll blind the
for
duck
for the
before.
eyes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Kind of
But
says
it's
a lot
like-
about him as a human, but
Duck-sized horses, they just must look like small dogs, whereas,
Yeah.
you know, you get to see a
What is
horse-sized
this
dog.
like Billy Madison? I've never seen a blue duck before. I wanted to see a blue duck. That's fucking great. Well, boys,
killer.
thank you so much for coming. I don't know how far and wide you've travelled from, but we really appreciate you
thanks
coming
for
on.
coming down, boys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
11 minutes,
fuck
about
yeah,
15
dude.
minutes.
Are you you're all Northies?
Yeah, I'm-
Where are you living?
I'm living like central Port Adelaide area.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Still northwest.
It's the north of the beach.
I'm moving back north though, October.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
back in the
Welcome
hood.
back.
Back in the hood.
Yeah, no, boys, I really appreciate you coming down and spending the time with us. It's been a really super fun pod. Cannot wait to see you at Volumes.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
very
been
fucking
fantastic.
excited. Before we let you go, plug all your socials,
Yeah.
what you've got going on. They know about the Volume show. Go and get fucking tickets for that. But where can they find you on the old socials?
Yeah, Instagram mostly is where we
Just
post.
Catalyst. I think it's like
Catalyst.
catalyst.adl or something, is it?
Catalyst
Or-
Oz, I think.
yeah.
Catalyst Oz, yeah.
Go stream
Stadium
Deep as
tour.
a Skin.
Yeah, stream deep as a skin. Keep an eye out. We've got new music coming. So just
There's
keep
merch
on
as
it.
well,
Yeah,
so-
merch. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Jump on the socials. If you get the Insta, you've got the link tree. You've got more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you're in the Insta, make sure you go to the merch store and fucking check it out.
And just fucking hit them up.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much,
Oh,
boys.
Thanks for having
really
us, guys. Really
appreciate it.
appreciate it, man.
Thanks, boys.